Hi everybody, this is Spring with Suds and such, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my ground ivy and wild violet tea. Now, everyone does their own thing with tea. This is the way I was taught to do it, and some people would probably say, no, that's not the right way, but it's the way I was taught, and sometimes when you're taught something, it sticks with you. So this is the way I've always done it. And now what I have is I'm going to be making a pot. If you can see, I've got that up to this line right here, and I'm going to be cutting that on so it can be heating up. And I have here in my bowl ground ivy, quite a bit, and I also have over here on the plate my wild violets. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting up my ground ivy. You could bruise it if you want to, but I'm just going to be using quite a bit in mine because I want a strong tea, so I'm not going to bruise it. I'm just going to cut it up into small like pieces. And you could add some mint to this if you don't like the taste. Ground ivy is one of those plants a lot of people call a nuisance, a weed, but it always grew at my grandmother's house, and she's the one that actually taught me about it to begin with. So I'm just going to cut this up like so, and I am using the stems and the leaves. And I did wash this. We had had some rain, and I didn't want to risk any dirt particles or dusty particles being up on it, so I did wash it really good. Made sure it was free of any creatures, because it is a low grower growing near the ground. Okay, now I'm going to put my wild violet in here. And just cut it up like so. And again, I could have bruised it, but I'm not this time. This is one that I like to start it out slow, so I cut it down. I actually don't cut it up too high at first, and then I'll bring it to a boil. I'll bring you back once I get it to that point. I've got it cut down on probably medium, and I'm going to leave it there for a little while, and then I will cut it up. But this is one I like to do slowly, if that makes sense. Just the way I do it. And as I've always told you, always check with your physician or do research on any herbs before you attempt to use them or pick them or take them for any ailments. Research, because I'm not a doctor and I'm not an herbalist. I just love herbs. Okay, I'm going to let this sit on medium, and whenever I think it's to the point of cutting it up, I'll bring you back. Okay, it is to where I want it to be before I turn it up, and I have changed my mind like normal. I have decided I want some mint in it because I love mint. So I'm going to put some sprigs of sweet mint in there. I think that should go nicely with it. I just like mint. I've got a bad mint problem. I love mint. I sell soap and things like that, bath bombs and stuff, and I've made a Mintalicious soap, and I had to open one up to let people smell of it at the sale, and oh my goodness, now I am wanting to open me one or use that one. And then I'm also going to add stevia. I've decided to add stevia because I think it'll add a little sweetness. I'm going to add honey anyhow, but I think it will add some sweetness to it. Okay, I've got that down in there. Now is the point where I cut the eye up, and I'm going to let it come to a boil. I really should cut that middle part up, honestly. I'll do that. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to move in the bottom. Now I'll let this come to a boil, and I'll bring you back when I get ready to pour it. Okay, we've got a really good boil, so now I'm going to cut the eye off and move my pot off of the heat, and let me move it where maybe you can see it. Yeah. And I'm going to let that simmer, or not simmer, steep. I'm going to let that steep for probably 6 to 8 minutes or so. Knowing me, it may be 10, according if I get busy on something else. But I'm going to let that steep, and then I'll bring you back and show you what the tea actually turns out to look like. Okay, we're ready to pour. I've got my pretty little cup right here that I really like. It says it is in happy remembrance that the heart finds the greatest joy. And I love little teacups. I just adore them. But the way I'm going to do it, pour this in, you can use whatever strainer. I'm going to be using this one. I have packed away so much of my stuff because we are going to be moving into my grandmother's house we bought. Okay, there you go. It's a pretty cup of tea. And if you were fixing this and had company and wanted to doll it up, you could take a little slice of lemon and stick on the side like they do in the restaurants with sweet tea. And you could also put a little sprig of peppermint or some sort of mint, maybe a little sprig of stevia on the side. But there it is, ground ivy and wild violet tea, and I did add a little bit of mint and stevia to it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be putting me some honey in there, and I'll have me a lovely cup of tea. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. Trying to help people to learn about herbs. And as I said earlier, research, research, research. And have a blessed day, and God bless you.